Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into something that is honestly a beautiful and incredibly informative philosophical concept. It's traditionally rooted in the Thai phrasing "Dum nam ramluk ton tan le ruthot tan parkun." In English, that roughly translates to drinking water, remembering the source, and knowing to repay grace. Now, if you've ever wondered what separates basic good manners from actual, true spiritual cultivation, well, this is it. We're going to unpack how this simple, nature-based proverb actually serves as the absolute foundation for spiritual enlightenment, according to traditional teachings. So, let's jump right in. This beautifully profound concept, often captured in authentic calligraphy, is deeply rooted in syncretic Taoist and Buddhist teachings. The source material we're analyzing today emphasizes that remembering the source goes way, way beyond just saying a polite thank you. It literally touches the very core of spiritual awakening. According to these teachings, without a deep, resonant understanding of exactly where our life, our wisdom, and our blessings come from, true spiritual progress is completely impossible. To grasp the full weight of this philosophy, here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the principle of gratitude, move into the 10 forms of grace, look at why remembering matters, cover ways to repay kindness, and wrap up with returning to the source. All right, Section 1. The principle of gratitude. Let's look at why this is the absolute starting point for any spiritual practitioner. The foundation of this worldview relies on a core visual metaphor that really hits the nail on the head. A tree without taproots cannot flourish, a river without a source cannot flow long. Think about it. Just as nature is entirely dependent on its origins, human beings cannot spiritually thrive without acknowledging their roots. If you sever a tree from its roots, it's done for. In this philosophy, if you disconnect your mind from the source of your existence, your spiritual growth immediately withers away. And it's fascinating how this teaching maps out the progression of spiritual maturity. It says receiving grace is easy. We all do it every single day, just by breathing. Realizing that we are receiving it, that's a lot harder. But actually repaying it is the ultimate challenge. It's not enough to just feel warm and fuzzy. True gratitude in this tradition is a demanding, highly active state of being. Moving on to Section 2, 10 forms of grace. Who or what exactly are we supposed to be paying back? The source text provides a really specific, comprehensive list of 10 entities that a spiritual seeker owes a massive debt to. The first 5 interconnect the cosmic, the spiritual, and the biological. Number 1 is heaven, which provides the Tao, the fundamental truth and life itself. Number 2 is earth, physically nourishing all beings. 3 and 4 are the holy teachers and the Holy Mother, spiritual guides who bear our karma and save us from suffering. And number 5 is our biological parents, who give us physical form and raised us. This worldview weaves all these forces together into a single, unbreakable web of ultimate reverence. Then, this gratitude builds outward into society and the divine. We have predecessors, those who pioneered the spiritual path before us. We have introducers and guarantors, the direct community members who connected us to these teachings. Amazingly, the text also includes the nation, for providing the peace and protection necessary to practice, and the public, for the mutual help society offers. Finally, the 10th grace is the Buddhas and immortals, the divine forces guiding the whole journey. Gratitude here is incredibly expansive. It literally leaves nothing out. Which brings us to Section 3, why remembering matters. Why is the specific type of gratitude totally required for spiritual salvation? To understand this, we have to grasp the concept of a holy mission or vow. Within this tradition, enlightenment isn't just a passive state of sitting under a tree. No, it's an active, mission-driven pursuit. A practitioner takes a profound vow to cultivate themselves, to help save other sentient beings, and to ultimately return to the absolute heavenly realm. It is a massive undertaking. So the crucial point is how gratitude acts as the actual fuel for this mission. The text presents a super stark contrast. Remembering the source provides the inner fuel required to fulfill these monumental vows and return to the heavenly origin. Conversely, forgetting the source, being ungrateful, absolutely guarantees that you'll fail. The text explicitly states that ingratitude leads a practitioner to abandon the bodhisattva path, which keeps them trapped in the endless cycle of reincarnation. The teachings summarize this cosmology beautifully with this quote, "In the world there are no sages without virtue. Above there are no immortals who forget grace." This impartially illustrates a core tenet of the tradition. Every single enlightened being, every sage, every immortal
achieved their elevated status specifically through recognizing and fiercely repaying their spiritual and worldly debts. There are absolutely no exceptions to this rule.
All right, Section 4, Ways to Repay Kindness. If repayment is a strict requirement for enlightenment, how does a practitioner actually go about doing it? The source material lays out a highly structured methodology. First, respecting teachers and honoring the Tao. Second, deeply cultivating the self to fulfill those vows we just talked about. Third, maintaining ceaseless diligence, pushing through endless obstacles. Fourth, pioneering the Tao, meaning actively working to benefit others. And fifth, cultivating truly, from the very beginning to the very end. True repayment is basically a lifelong, active practice of both rigorous self-improvement and dedicated community service. And let me tell you, the text does not sugarcoat the difficulty of this dedication. True cultivation means prioritizing spiritual truth over personal gain. It means remaining absolutely steadfast even if you are in deep poverty and facing down thousands of obstacles without ever turning back. The text heavily warns against giving up halfway, because to give up when things get hard is to fundamentally fail to repay the grace you've received. Perhaps the most demanding aspect of repayment is this: your own personal enlightenment just isn't enough. To truly repay your debts, you must take up the holy mission. You essentially have to become a vessel for the Tao, acting as the hands and the voice of heaven. The goal is to actively work to awaken the rest of humanity and guide others out of suffering. You pay back the grace you received by extending it to others. Finally, Section 5, Returning to the Source. Let's look at the ultimate destination for those who successfully embody this profound gratitude. In the text's conclusion on heavenly grace, we find a stark and really powerful reminder. The teachings argue that we constantly enjoy the boundless protection of heaven. To enjoy this protection without remembering where it came from and without dedicating yourself to repaying it is a fundamental failure. It's exactly like drinking from a well and never once acknowledging the water source. So, the ultimate promise of this philosophy is what we might call the ultimate union. The source text maintains that the absolute eternal realm is unlocked exclusively by those who perfectly revere their spiritual roots. Only through profound gratitude and the grueling completion of your spiritual vows can human and heaven truly become one. We've seen how a simple proverb about water unfolds into a comprehensive blueprint for spiritual salvation. It's such a compelling lens through which to view our place in the universe. So, I want to leave you with this thought based on the text's central metaphor. If every drop of water you drink and every bit of wisdom you hold comes from a source, how will you honor your roots today? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope it sparks some deep reflection for you.